Alright guys, I figured I should do an update video because it's been over a year, I feel like, at this point, since I've done a video on my car, and just an update. And honestly, I haven't really been working on it that much either during that time, but I have been a lot lately. I actually originally put a deadline in for myself of August 1st to have it at least like first startup, but because of parts, I'm waiting for a certain part from a certain person, and I'm not going to reveal what it is because there's a certain thing I'm doing that I haven't said. But because of waiting for that part, I'm not going to be done by August 1st. I do plan though to be done with like everything else as much as I can be, to the point where like I'm just waiting for that part and I can just button up what needs to be buttoned up to around that, and it's good to go. But enough about that, here it is. All right, so a couple things I've been doing since the last update. Let's start with wiring. So I put in this distribution box. I don't know if I've ever filmed that, but basically I put all the connections that I have that need to go to the positive battery cable to this, just because I didn't want to like put every single one right to the battery. I figured like at some point that would be really excessive. Like I already have these two that are going to be on the positive, and I'm happy that it's just those. I'm glad that it's not going to be more. But so what that does is this big one here sorry, my throat, I've been kind of fighting a little cold, but anyway, so this big wire goes to this box here to the bottom, and then in the box here, I can open it, hang on, in the box here, that one connects, and then I can wire in positive connections that I need to go there. So that's what I'm doing, and I've labeled them, as you can see. This one I just did today, which is why it's labeled like this, which obviously I'm gonna make a label eventually and here soon and get it in there, but for now that's what it is. But I put that in there for the wire, and then I also have wiring. So here that's ran, and it's ran through, there's this little channel in these cars, and this goes all the way through, so I ran it all through there. And then today, this is what I wired it up. So this is the control module for my AFR gauge, because I got the one that data logs, and I can also mess with it and kind of like see where my car's idling at and do things like that. So I had to wire that in today. This is the wire that goes to the sensor. So it's all just right here right now, because the sensor will be obviously off of the exhaust, and I don't have that in here yet, but it will be down there. So that's just right there for now, coming off of this. And then the power wires ran to it, and the power wire is this one here. And they had it all into one, which I didn't really understand, at least for me, maybe because I mounted this in here and I wasn't supposed to, but I wasn't going to mount it under my dash. I'm already tight for space there, but it had 4 wires coming out of it, 2 of which had to go to my battery in my engine bay, and the other 2 needed to go to the inside because one of them was a headlight power switch, and then the other one was just an ignition on power switch. So either way, I cut them out of the original splicing. I installed my own here. I put my own stuff, loom on it, sorry, and then heat shrunk it because I want it to last and I want it to look nice. And then ran this one. This one runs all the way along here, all the way up in over there above my washer pump where most of my wiring goes. All right, and then as far as the interior goes, what I've done here is I put in speakers. So these are just covers. These obviously weren't put in first. I took these door panels off, cut out a spot for these little speakers I had, bought these plastic covers so I don't kick them out or anything like that. And then I ran the wiring. You can't really see it well right here, but what I did is I just cut a tiny slit in the factory rubber grommet here and ran the wiring through it. That way it's like the most waterproofing. I didn't want to just like take the whole grommet out. But I also put loom over my speaker wire as well, which I'll get down here and show you a better video of, but I did that so it lasts longer and works a lot better. Yeah, look, it looks like a mess, but it's not. It's organized chaos in here. Well, at least to me, because I've been working on it so much, I know what everything is. So let's see. So this is the speaker wire here. So it's in the same seating. I got that stuff off of Amazon. It's really awesome. I'm a big fan. All right, so some more wiring that I've done is I've been wiring in all the loose ends on the trim that I got from SJR lifts into the ECM for the engine. And then I've ran a couple other ones here. So these are all the stereo wiring, and then this one here is, let's see. Oh yeah, so this here, I ran this from the engine bay. This is once again loomed wire. I did all of this on my wiring so that it lasts the longest, and I also labeled all of it at the end, which I'll show you here. So that one runs all the way to here. It's long, so it's obviously not going to go here right now, but I just have it tucked here so I know where it's at. But that one has the oil pressure wiring to the gauge that needs to go to the gauge, as well as the coolant one that needs to go to the gauge. Both of those gauges will be sitting right here in my main, like my stock center piece under the vent controls. So those will go there, but right now they're just tucked right here. But I ran loom all the way here with them. And I've also been drawing a wiring schematic of everything I'm adding so that I kind of know what's where. And then, like I said, I'm putting all this loom on and stuff because I want all of this to last and I want it to be done right, and I don't want to have issues. So I'm trying to just like take my time and really make sure I check all the boxes. All right, and then down here, which will also be in my center console right under the AC controls, is here's all the stereo wiring that I did. So this one's like the main, the power, and the memory and stuff like that. And then this one is the speakers, and then all the speakers are ran to the back doors. I already had those ones in, so I didn't install those. And then the front doors, the driver's side looks the same as the passenger side that I showed you guys, obviously. And then here's just all the wiring that had to go to like the fuse box that's going to hot while on switches and stuff like that. Wiring has been my main focus the past couple weeks, so it's pretty much buttoned up. There's a couple small loose ends, but overall wiring is done, which is really nice. It's been a tedious task, so I'm glad that we're almost done with it. And then I can move on to the bigger, dirtier stuff that I have to do with this build. Oh yeah, okay, so also here's like all my interior pieces. They're still in the back, just saving space in my garage and putting them back here. But so I also installed this onto my dashboard here. This is gonna be wired to the distribution box, the switch distribution box that I have, so it's all my switches. So right now I only have 2 wired into it, so those are the stickers that are on there, and once I do the other 4 empty ones you see, then I'll put the right stickers on those too. But there's another wiring thing I've done. Oh, I can't really show it, but I also put all LED bulbs, new bulbs, in my instrument cluster. That's what's wrapped in this right here. Finally, because I originally tried to do that like about a year or 2 ago, but the LED bulbs I had purchased weren't like low profile enough, so they didn't really fit, but now we are good and they fit, so it's better. Also, this is what the car looks like as of today, because next up, like I said a little bit earlier, next up I plan to do suspension. I have like all new bushings for these control arm type of things. That's what I'm gonna call them. Control links, control arms that go on the front suspension. So right there's 2 bushings, and then on this part right here, the sway bar connects, and there's a bushing as well. I have all those that are new, so I'm gonna put those pieces back in. I obviously can't put the sway bars back in until I put the transmission in, which is next. This is just that piece, the other side though, and it's just upside down. This is the lift block on there, but gotta put those in. I already did all new other suspension pieces when I originally built the car with the 4-inch lift, so I'm not going to touch anything like that. Alright, I'm also going to be putting new brake lines right here where the soft one is between the body and the wheel end. I'm going to put stainless steel ones that are about 4 inches longer than these, so just I have more travel and just so that they're higher quality. I already did the stainless steel in the front when I did the 4-inch lift, and I've been loving them. I got the same ones for the rear. So another thing I did with the AFR gauge is I actually installed this today, this gauge pod here. So there's the AFR gauge, and then I do have another gauge I'm going to put here. I just don't have it yet, but that one's in there. The wiring's ran, so I'm going to have to obviously take it down to install the other one, but at least now I know where the mounting holes are, so it should be easy to just put right back on there. All new foam on the dash here, the foam dash. That's another thing that I did so that when I put my new dash in, it'll just sit nice and snug and work very well. The old foam was like so old it like basically crumbled apart. It was crazy. Alright guys, thanks for watching my quick update video on the car. Yeah, that's just a quick little update. I'm sorry the car is pretty dirty and stuff, but I just wanted to give you guys a little update of where I'm at and show you, because I know there's just no info on these cars, so I just try to put out as much as I can. Comment, like, let me know if you guys have any suggestions. If you say shitty stuff, honestly, I just probably will just laugh and ignore it. Thanks for watching.